Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
What's said? What's said? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, spiritual TikTok, black TikTok community, all the platforms where my video is shown at. Today is the day the BlackRock and Vanguard and the fourth branch of government. What, Los? A fourth branch of government? School only taught us about 3. Yeah, the school system haven't been updated yet. So, yes, fourth branch of government. And y'all are, if you checked out the last video, you already know the fourth branch is Vanguard, BlackRock, and a lot of these intelligent agencies and corporations and shit like that. And let me tell you, these folks wield more power than the legislation and the president and all that. And for y'all that think the president makes the laws, the president don't make the laws. He just decides whether they pass or don't. So let me ask you this. Why are we voting for a president who don't even make laws? We should vote for the people who's sitting in the office creating these laws without the citizens' input, because the laws affects us. So shouldn't we have an input on and know what the fuck is going on? But you don't know because they own the media. But Science for the Conscious Mind. Let's get this video popping, you heard?
Bloated bureaucracy is a big concern for conservatives. They say the federal bureaucratic state has become so huge that it is now a de facto fourth branch of government, and in fact, maybe the most powerful branch. As Paul Strand reports, experts will tell you it's completely unconstitutional.
Yeah, warehouse life, you heard me? But 1 second. Oh yeah, great water. Love this water. But anyways, it is totally unconstitutional. Very unconstitutional. This is what y'all, last year and the year before that, y'all called us conspiracy theorists because we kept talking about a shadow government. This is the shadow government we're talking about. They're not hiding no more. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? They're not hiding anymore. Fourth branch of government is totally unconstitutional, and they talking about rewriting and adjusting the constitutions. And let me tell you something, my people, black people, Hispanics, Asians, and all y'all like that, the first constitution was written in 1776 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We were still being oppressed, chained, slavery, whipped, killed, and everything. So that document ain't got shit to do with us. So I wonder why they've been calling it Jim Crow 2.0. Oh yeah, y'all boy Joe Biden, he down with the fourth branch of government too. Yeah, he's down with it. Just because he's a Democrat, that don't mean shit. That's the party he run for. But who runs his ass is that fourth branch of government. Science for the Conscious Mind is keeping.
And the last thing they would have wanted was an unelected bureaucracy that could steal your property, your rights, and even your freedom.
It's fifth grade civics all over again, right?
Law School Assistant Dean Richard Kelsey says those founding fathers were clear and deliberate about what they'd allow constitutionally.
They took a lot of time trying to figure out how to get this right. Remember, we had the Articles of Confederation first, didn't work. So we got together, had a constitutional convention, and we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how do we make this delicate balance of power.
The founders decided only the politicians in Congress, those closest to and most easily held accountable by the voters, could make the laws that would reign over and even threaten those voters.
They're supposed to make the laws, propose the laws, be answerable.
For real. And if you watch my first part of this episode of Vanguard and BlackRock, you know that they buying up tons of property and land and shit like that. And I know that they not just buying that motherfucker, because a lot of people just not gonna give up land like that, because land is one of the greatest resources on earth, my nigga. So they either coercing people, they doing some type of blackmail. These niggas doing, I won't put it past nobody, but y'all peep game. This shit ain't no conspiracy theory no more. This shit is a conspiracy fact. You heard me? So with that being said, Science for the Conscious Mind, just keep this clip rolling. You heard me?
Calls BlackRock the fourth branch of government because it's the only private agency that closely works with the central banks. BlackRock lends money to the central bank, but it's also the advisor. It also developed the software the central bank uses. Many BlackRock employees were in the White House with Bush and Obama. Its CEO Larry Fink can count on a warm welcome from leaders and politicians. Not so strange if you know that he is the frontman of the ruling company. But Larry Fink does not pull the strings himself. BlackRock itself is also owned by shareholders. Who are those shareholders? We come to a strange conclusion. The biggest shareholder is Vanguard. But now it gets murky. Vanguard is a private company and we cannot see who the shareholders are. The elite who own Vanguard apparently do not like being in the spotlights. But of course they cannot hide from who is willing to dig. Reports from Oxfam and Bloomberg say that 1% of the world together owns more money than the other 99%. Even worse, Oxfam says that 82% of all earned money in 2017 went to this 1%. Forbes, the most famous business magazine, says that in March 2020 there were 2,095 billionaires in the world. This means that Vanguard is owned by the richest families in the world. If we research their history, we see that they have always been the wealthiest, some of them even before the start of the Industrial Revolution. Because their history is so interesting and extensive, I will make a sequel. For now, I just want to say that these families, of whom many are in royalty, are the founders of our banking system and of every industry in the world. These families have never lost power, but due to an increasing population they had to hide behind firms like Vanguard, of which the stockholders are the private funds and non-profits of these families. To clarify the picture, I have to explain briefly what non-profits actually are. These appear to be the link between companies, politics and media. This conceals the conflicts of interests a bit.
I'm gonna tell you something too. Why everybody was so caught up on Trump and racism and all this other shallow shit. He was talking about all this shit right here that we talking about right now, and when nobody listening. Nobody listening. Joe Biden is down with this shit. Obama's down with that shit. Bush down with that shit. Clinton down with that shit. Like, I can go back all the way back to Woodrow Wilson in 1920s when he sold us the fuck out to these agencies. You heard me? The fourth branch of government was in the making all these decades and centuries and shit like that. And now it's time. You feel me? Y'all better peep game, man. Hey.
We are empowering this huge federal government that can restrict our liberties, restrict our freedom, restrict our economic opportunities in this country, and it's almost impossible to fight back against these agencies.
Paul Strand, CBN News, Washington.
Political campaigns, public opinion, and journalistic practices have become the focus of attention and anxiety among communication scholars. The free press guaranteed in the Bill of Rights of the U.S. Constitution received little attention during the time of adopting the First Amendment. That guarantee has been the objective of the debate.
Modern media has only been able to convey up-to-date political information to the public for a little less than 2 centuries. Wealthy individuals or those who control wealth have always had more influence over the public's opinion and ultimately over what policies that are changed than the members of the lower class along with the middle class.
An example of deregulation is the Fairness Doctrine, which required TV and radio stations to devote some time to controversial issues of public importance. and require them to present opposing views on those issues.
Set this careful balance and made unelected bureaucrats super powerful.
They're like a fourth branch of government now, and they are unaccountable, they're unanswerable to the voters, and they can get away with just about anything they want without any consequences.
And that's allowed modern presidents to basically take the law into their own. And now they literally wield life and death power over people.
They are issuing regulations often with criminal penalties. That's something only Congress should be able to do. And yet these unelected bureaucrats have the ability now to declare that certain actions will...
The branch is about having a framework to solve problems. It's not about a specific solution. For example, we believe that it may be time for the Electoral College to be retired. But what we need to utilize are the tools that allow us to have that discussion and make that decision as a people democratically. People are frustrated with Congress. People are frustrated with the lack of cooperation between the branches of government, the executive branch and the legislative branch and the Supreme Court. The fourth branch is returning to the tools that our founders gave us.
We propose some of these changes in our book, but they're not meant to be definitive. They're meant to start a discussion. A lot of people simply do not vote, and everyone decries this and says, well, let's get them out to the polls so they can vote. It's time to simply update voting so that it can be done on your cell phone, over the computer, whatever it takes to get you to vote. And
the Middle East has been a disaster for this country. We've spent trillions and trillions of dollars. We got nothing. And the beauty was we didn't need their oil anymore, but now we're going to need their oil again because we're not going to be energy independent for very long. I don't believe we are now. And when I left, it was $1.87 a gallon for gas, and now it's $3.50.
It's almost $1.30 more just since Joe's gotten to be president. Let me ask you a question.
Well, that concludes part 2 of BlackRock, Vanguard, and the fourth branch of government, aka the shadow government that people don't know about, but they're very openly operating and stuff like that. And just like you heard Trump, man, like I ain't no Trump supporter, but he hitting some key points like gas was $1.30, $1.40, $1.50, something. Now that bitch that jumped down now $4-5 in some places. You heard me? Come on, man, y'all better peak game. 21 years in the Middle East, our soldiers been over there for what? Follow the money, follow the paper trail. Hey, science for the conscious mind. Vibrate high, peace, prosperity, abundance, gratefulness, gratitude. Vibrate higher than your root chakra. Open up your heart chakra, detox your crown chakra, and vibrate high. Vibrate on the law of vibration. You understand me? And if y'all like this video, of course, like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop more content. I got a lot more stuff coming for y'all. So we did that one. The next video I'm gonna do is secret laws that people don't know about. Science for the conscious mind.